So, hey guys, this is the second day where I'm working on an audio controller for Unity, as you can see. Well, yesterday we did the audio object, at least some part of it, and today I think we should continue with audio object. First of all, we're gonna review what we did yesterday, and then we'll proceed further. So, what we did yesterday. Obviously, we did the audio object that the audio controllers should set up. Let me first of all make this text bigger, and then we can continue. Much better. Okay, so we added to our audio object an ID, we added a clip, and we added an audio source. Also, we have here a playing routine that will be started every time we call the play method, which is here. That routine will just check if the audio source is still playing, and then we should break from the while loop that we see here and call the event on finished playing, so that the audio controller knows that this audio object has finished playing. Now, we also nullified the source clip and the source clip from the source, so we get rid of the audio clip from the audio source that was given to us from the audio controller, and we also get rid of the source from this audio object, so we don't really need to have it here. And also we just say that we don't need any more to know about this playing routine. Okay, that should be it. What we need now, let's say we're playing this audio object, but sometimes we will have moments where we will need to stop this audio object, maybe even pause. So what I'm thinking here is that first of all we need a stop mechanism, so we're just gonna create a new method and call it stop. Okay, and here I guess what we need to do is first of all check if we are playing right now. So how can we do it? There are two ways. We can check obviously the audio source, or we already have the reference to the playing coroutine that checks every time if the audio source finished playing. So what we can do here is just check if this coroutine has started and it still exists within this audio object. That way we will know that this audio object is still playing. So let's do just that. So what we want here is, if this audio object doesn't play anything, then we need to just ignore and return and exit this method. But if we see that the audio object is playing something, then we should stop it. So first of all, we could just call source stop, and I think that should suffice, because if we will call audio source stop, the audio source is not gonna play, so its flag that is checking whether the audio source is playing or not will be false, and this coroutine will finish itself up, and we will have the same behavior that we need. So if we manually stop the audio object, we still need to have this event like unfinished playing to be called out, and we still need to get rid of the clip inside the source and the source itself from the audio object. So basically, yeah, that's all we need for stop for now. Okay, what else do we need here? I guess that's it. What can we do next? We could go to the audio controller and work on it, of course, but right now I'm not in the mood to really start working with audio object, because I'm not really sure how to make it all together. Essentially, what we need is to be able to somehow categorize every sound, so that we can do a distinction between music and sound effects, and also maybe categorize the sound effects and categorize the music. And I guess this should suffice for the audio object for now, and we really need to start the audio controller. Yeah. So let's start the audio controller then. Oh, something interesting happened. Let's go to Unity and just get to our audio controller. And we have it here. Now we already have here the list with the audio objects, but I guess we shouldn't have it here. We should have an object pool for that, and the audio controller will take from that pool an audio object, and this object pool will also create audio objects on the fly if there will not be any free objects for us. So I guess we'll delete that for now, and let's just create something simple. Like, first of all, let's have some kind of ID. So first of all, we said we will have categories of sounds. we don't care what every category means, and we also don't care what kind of sound we will play, but we care about the type of audio source. So let's say we want to loop that sound. What we could do is just play the audio objects and make the source loop. That way we can know that this is music, and or we could know that this sound should loop and should not be destroyed or put in the object pool or something like that. Right now let's just concentrate on the idea that we will have sounds and music, and then we will try to, out of that, do some categories. Okay. So we will have here some kind of object pool, but we will need a class for that, a new one. Let's go back to our project and let's create a new script. We'll call it object pool. Let's open it up. And what do we see here? I guess we're gonna get rid of this, and also let's move that here. And what this object pool should have. First of all, we need some kind of prototype object, a simple prefab with audio object in it, and that should suffice for now. So, okay. Let's do it. We don't want it to be visible for other objects, but we need it visible in Unity. I mean in the editor. Oh. Okay. And we need to get an object and also to be able to move it back to our pool. So basically we will have here, I guess, a list of game objects. We will call this just prefab because this object pool can be reusable for other stuff, so let it be. It's not something hard to do. And this is gonna be our pool. What we need now is a method that will give us an audio object, or at least a game object with the audio object. We will do just that. And essentially what we will need here is a way to give this object, but at the same time we need a way to get it back to the pool if we are not using it. So there are many ways how to do that, and one way is that every game object will know where to go back. So basically it will have the reference to the object pool and just get back in there, and that should be it. But we need a way to notify it that it's not used anymore. So we could do that through an event, but at the same time we could do other thing, like let's say it's still gonna, no, it's not gonna have the reference to it, but the audio controller will be able to send it back to the object pool. So the audio controller essentially will know about what audio objects finished playing or were stopped and they finished playing. Doesn't matter. The idea here is that the audio object called finished playing, and then the audio controller will go and put it back to the object pool, or at least send it, and the object pool will put it where it needs to be put. So yeah, I guess we're gonna go with that. Okay, first of all we need to see if we have any objects saved in this pool. Basically what we will need is first of all check if this pool is even created. If our pool is null, then we will need to instantiate the list with game object that will, let's say, accept only game objects in it, and then create a game object from the prefab, send it to the whoever called get game object. What we can essentially do in the future is make multiple object pools with different prefabs and then just use it. Yeah, that was out of context. Okay, so let's create a new instance for the pool if the pool is null. We can do just that, and then if it's not null, let's just check if we have any objects in that pool. Okay, wait a minute. We could just use a stack for that. Yeah, we could use a stack for that. Let's use a stack, not a list. Yep. And why did I delete that block of code? Okay, whatever. Let's check again. So essentially, let's do it like that. If the pool is not null, we will check then if pool has any objects in it. I mean free objects. And if it doesn't have any free objects or any objects, we will just create one and send it. Okay. Yeah. We just pop the game object and send it. But if the poll is... oh no, why am I doing that? Just return game object, instantiate. We will just instantiate a new prefab and a new game object from that prefab and send it to whomever called the get game object. So basically we'll do just that. Also, if our pool is null, we first will create a new instance of stack object so that we have our pool instantiated. after that, just let's just copy that and put it here. Okay, that should be good. What's gonna be next?
Third generation Pure Master with Edwards, Virginia hands.
Yes, next is we need to.
One is what we call the shortcut method, which is using the shortcut hand, the hot
Or maybe.
Or we age them about 4 to 6 months.
Maybe we should be able just to call within the audio, within the game object, send message or some kind of method call that will, or the audio object will require a component named pulled object or something like that. And that way we could call the pull method. So let's rethink that again. We have our pool. It gives game objects from the pool or just instantiates new ones if there are none in the pool. What we need then is to receive these game objects. I mean, we need to send back these game objects to the pool. So one way is to save a reference to the object pool that we need to be put back in. And that means that every other object has the reference to that pool that was pulled from. So how we should proceed with that? We could do just some kind of inheritance and get over with it, but I don't really want to use inheritance for one single property or one single field. Okay, let's think a little more. We definitely will need a method to pull back, to put back the game object. So first of all, we will do our check. If the pool is not null, we will just put the game object there. And else we will create the pool, but have a better idea here. Let's do it another way. If the pool is null, then we create an instance of this pool. So and then we just put it right there. Yeah. Okay. So we could subscribe it somehow. I mean, we could just send some kind of event to the object pool and it will take it. But that means again that the audio objects should subscribe, not... yeah, no. The object pool should subscribe to his game objects. So essentially we will still need another class that will do just that. It will have the reference to the object pool and it will be able to send itself back, put itself back in the object pool. Or we just ignore all that and the audio controller will do that for us. But what's the reason of the object pool if the audio controllers still does all the job with the recycling it? So yeah. Let's for now just leave it like that. And let's go back to the audio controller. And we will need here the reference to the object pool. That means we could create the object pool, or we could just require the component for the object pool when we add the audio controller. Yeah, I guess that's a better idea. So let's do that. Okay. Now we know for sure that we have the object pool here. And what we need to do is essentially have a start here, and let's do it in awake, nothing. and let's get our object full. For that we'll do here private reference to it, private field I mean, and let's get our pool. Okay. Now okay, essentially we have here our audio controller that will have some kind of play, and it will get an string, I guess ID, or better we will call it the name that we know somehow. And here let's do it simple to do and add the implementation later. The idea here is that before we can play something, we need some kind of dictionary or some kind of database with all these names. So let's think a little. We have the name IDs, and we also have some audio clips with them, and let's say we also want to control the volume level, so I guess we will need to use some scriptable objects here, create some assets and then use that, or already have one asset created and move every bit of data there so we could save it in the project. Okay, so what we essentially will need is just a scriptable object we've made from two arrays. One will store every name that we will write for every clip that we will add. Yeah, and for now that will be enough for us to be able to test and see if everything works together fine. Okay, before we start that, let's just commit everything we did here, and then we could proceed further. So let's do just that. Let's see, what did we do? Something strange happened with the music. Okay, we fixed that. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, let's add our files. Okay, that should be good. Oh no, that is not good. Okay, first of all, let's add our object pool file and then commit it separately, and then commit the audio object and the audio controller. So let's first see what we did to the audio object. We added the stop method. So let's just add that, then commit with the message. And now let's add the object pool. Okay, good. And commit it. And now let's add our audio controller. So first of all, let's check it out one more time. Okay, we added the object pool, the play and the awake to get the object pool from the game object. Okay, that should be good. That is good. Let's say make object pool mandatory for audio controller. And now let's just Oh. Okay. Okay, that should be good. Now let's get back to Unity editor, and let's see if our audio controller will add the object pool. So as you can see, it added the object pool, and we could check if the audio controller takes the object pool. Okay, let's play and see. Yeah, so it takes the object pool from the same game object where it was added. That's good. Okay. Now what we need is a scriptable object. So let's create a new folder. Let's say it's gonna be our model. In this model we will have our scriptable object that will describe the way our data is organized for our audio controller. So we will do just that. Okay, let's see. This could be a simple class. Let's say an item. So, or a sound item. I guess a sound item is a better name than just an item. It will be more precise, I guess, to name it sound item, not just an item, because an item is really general, and what we're doing here is an audio controller. We are working with all kinds of sounds, so sound item should suffice. Now, this sound item is not gonna be a class that inherits from mono behavior, and I guess it's gonna be just a simple class like that, or maybe we will make it a struct even. That will be even better, and get rid of these methods, and I guess we don't need all this stuff. And let's just add here a string with the name and yeah, we will need still need Unity engine here. I mean, we will still need the namespace Unity engine to be able to add here the audio clip. So we have this struct, and next thing that we need is the scriptable object with the list of these sound items. So we could, first of all, let's just make sure this struct is serializable. This is done really easy with this attribute. Like that. And we don't need the attribute here, just serializable to be present. And let's get back to Unity and create another script. This time this will be our scriptable object, and this will be our category. So we will have a list of sound items in a category. Let's call that a category. And I guess let's name it, let's add the SO suffix so that we could know that this is a scriptable object. Okay. So what we need here, we need to change mono behavior to scriptable object. Yep, like that. And again, we need to get rid of these things. And I guess we could do that also. Now, what this scriptable object has is our list of, first of all, where is category name, so again, a name, and there is also our list. Our list of sound items. This we will leave it like a simple array because Unity will automatically resize it to the right size when we are gonna add new items. Okay, that should be good. So now we have a category, but we still need to create asset. Let me just check that out. How do we create an asset from scriptable object? Okay, I'm checking it out, and yeah, create asset menu, and what we need here is the file name. We need to, okay, we will call this category. let's add it to some custom menu. Okay, let's call it object controller and new category. Yeah, that should be good. Now, let's check if this works as expected. Oh, yeah. Oh, so we are seeing here some warnings. I guess let's check them out. You see this name. We cannot just use the name because Unity has already a property called name, and it just gives the name of the game object that this audio object is in. So I guess we will call this string another way, not just name, maybe click name. Let's call it click name. And let's see what other warnings do we have here. Okay, so this is gonna be fixed, we're gonna use them. And the category is also, we shouldn't use name here. Let's just add category here and get over with it. Yeah, that should be good. Now, okay, good. Now let's try and create an asset. So we can create a new category. Okay, let's create here a folder named data, and let's put here our category. So let's say these are gonna be our sound effects. So we have here our sound items, category name, and what else? We have our elements, but for some reason we don't see the name and the clip. Why? Let's check that out. Oh, we need to make them public. Okay. Now we should be able to see them here. Yeah, nice. So we have a category. And we also have some items we could add here. Okay. Now let's say we have only one item. We'll name it sign, and oh my god, sorry for that. Oopsie daisy. Let's add our audio clip here, and then let's just save the project for now. Okay, so what we have here is a scriptable object with the information about the clip we're using, and but thinking about it, I guess we won't use scriptable objects for that. I'm thinking that we're gonna use something else, but no. Scriptable objects are a better solution for that. I was thinking that we're gonna do like the audio toolkit is doing that, so we could create a game object, throw the audio controller in that game object and edit everything there, and also every information related to this audio controller, like this data, like the sound effects and the music that we're using, and like the volume levels for every category, or every bits of information to save in the same game object and create a prefab from that. But I don't want that. I want it to be saved in assets. So basically we will need a better way to create categories. I think that we're not just gonna create many scriptable objects that will represent many categories and somehow create them from the code from the editor. That will be just too cumbersome. I'm thinking that we'll still have a centralized way of storing all that data, and I'm thinking that that should be in a single scriptable object. So the category should be the same as the sound item. It should be a simple class or a simple struct that has in it an array with sound items and the name of the category. Okay. I guess we're gonna do that, but first let's commit another file. Let's commit this file, the sound item, because this file is fine and it's good and we can use that. So what we need here is a category item. We could rename this file to category item and also the name of the class, and remove the create asset menu, remove the scriptable object from it and make it serializable, and then create a new scriptable object that will name just database, or I don't know, audio controller base. No, we will not name it audio controller base. Then it's a bad idea. So let's continue. Let's rename this to just category item. Okay, now let's go to our file and also do that here. Rename it to category item, remove that line, and also we need to remove that from here. So we're gonna do just that. Also we need to be it serializable. Yeah, that should be good. That should be really good. Now we could also rename this part to just name, because we are no longer a part of the Unity mono behaviors and we will not interfere with its property called name. And let's let's put it back to name again. Okay, and now let's go to our we don't need to go anywhere. Okay. Let's move to our category item back. Okay, let's move back to Unity and let's see what happens here. So for some reason we have two files here. Let's just delete this one. I guess I accidentally created one. So yeah. Okay. Now we have these items and we need a way to save them. So I guess we're just gonna create our scriptable object that will be this time our database with all these categories with sound items and all that beautiful stuff. Okay, let's do that. So how are we gonna name it? We could name it audio controller database or audio controller data. Yeah, I think audio controller data is a good name. Yeah, that's a good name. And I think the audio controller will create this data. I mean it will create the asset from this scriptable object. That will be a better idea than just to, you know, make it yourself. because nobody loves to do monkey work. So yeah, we'll do so that the audio controller will create the asset that will store every bit of data related to that controller. Okay, let's just write it here, and let's see. So first of all, we need to delete everything from here, go and do our basic simple stuff. And here we should have a simple array with all the, let's say, their public, a public array of category items, and we will just name them items here because that should be enough. And let's make it a scriptable object. Okay, that should be good. So what essentially we have here is a audio controller data, a scriptable object, and we should be able to create from that scriptable object an asset. So let's check if that will work. So the main idea here is that we could create the asset, or we could add the same asset to another audio controller. So we will have different audio controllers with using the same database. So I'm thinking of a simple button in the audio controller inspector, from the editor, that will just create the database for us. So every time we will add something there, we will just press apply and it will save it there. But when this database is not there, we could just create it or add it. So if the database is not present in the audio controller, we will have that button there that says just create database, and it will just create it. And yeah, let's do that. I don't think we will do that today, but let's do that in the future. So let's go to our controller. And let's just check if we are able to create our scriptable object. Okay. No? Oh, so let's do like that. We have our asset here. Let's do scriptable object, create instance of our audio controller data. And let's create then the asset from it. So what we essentially have here is we will need some kind of path for that, so we could know where to save it. And I'm thinking that we're just gonna save it in assets for now. We don't really need to know where it's saved. But in the future we will have to decide where to put it, so that every new asset will be added there. Okay then, let's first of all we need to add here Unity editor. And add here asset database. Do like create asset and send that our scriptable object instance there, and then we should send some kind of path. Let's for now just give it a name, let's say the ACDB, like audio controller database, or just ACD, audio controller data, but let it be ACDB for now. And let's save and also let's refresh. That should be enough to just test it out. So let's go to our game object and let's try it out. So I'm not seeing anything created here. Maybe because we need to make it plain mode. So it wasn't able to create our asset. Okay, we will be able to do that when we will add the button for the audio controller. But for now we will leave it like that, and let's just comment all this code. Nope, not that, not like that. Okay. and let's finish it for today. Let's commit everything we did, and that will be enough for today. Let's make sure we save our project. Okay. And yeah, we can add everything here. No. Let's not add the data in the model methods and no, the data meta, we don't need it. We will add only the scripts, the scene, and the model with our data model scripts. Yeah. Okay, we added everything from the source, but we don't want the data to be added, so we're gonna reset only the data meta. Yep, and let's add our scene also there, and yep, that's good. Now let's commit. Okay. Now, I guess we could stop here and we will continue the next day. So what we did today is we finished up with our audio controller, at least the bare bones part, and we created an object pool that the audio controller will gonna use to get game objects with the audio object in it. Also, we added some code for the audio controller to be able to get the object pool and use it, I guess, in the future. And then we created some initial data model for us that we will use for the audio controller to save all our information. I mean, all the information related to the sounds, what are their names, and in what categories are they, and also we could save the volume for every category, so we could add that in the category item and just add. It will automatically be in the audio controller data, so yeah, that's a good thing. we did that. We did it like that. And what we need to do next is to start adding some editor thingies to be able to control the audio controller, to test something out, like to be able to add our items in categories and all that kind of stuff. So that's what are we gonna do the next. Yeah, this is what we're gonna do next time when I'm gonna start the stream again. So if you have any questions, any comments, or maybe some ideas how I should proceed with everything else, you are free to write that in the comments. I will be sure to read them and to see what I can add and what, from my point of view, will not work, I guess. Or maybe if we will have some ideas, some better ideas than what I described here, then I guess we will modify everything here so that it will be a better audio controller for everybody. So yeah, good day to you or good night to you wherever you are, and have fun coding. Bye.